And welcome to
Hey Team TV.
John Deere.
I can't believe I'm doing this.
John Deere.
He's really excited. My flesh is burning. He's made me wear this, even though I didn't want to, because I make him do stuff.
Yep. Tables are turned now, Matt. You make me do stuff I don't want to do, so unlucky.
But someone here really loves the overalls. Why?
Because they fit me.
They only fit you because in your other overalls you look fat.
Because they're too small.
What, around which area?
The legs.
Jerry 6420 and Andy it's a farming life for me.
We're all matching.
You two, I hope you two are laughing. Guys, if you haven't checked out either of their channels, go check it out. Yes, this is behind us. And yes, we are demoing it. Are we going to get it? We don't know yet. But let's have a look at it. So this is the John Deere XUV 865M. Okay. Adam?
Yes, modelling our new John Deere overalls. Now, this is like Justin just said, they call this the crossover model. Why? I don't know. Whether it's just more a rugged more model. Again, I don't really know, because I'll be honest, we don't really have much to do with John Deere here. Justin will explain that. Anyway, so covering the back, she has.
It's because whilst he's mumbling it, it's because John Deere brainwash everyone. That's my opinion. But they might brainwash me and prove me wrong. But we'll see. Back on you.
Oh, thanks, finished? Right, yeah. Right, so yeah, going back, so the payload, apparently you can put 450 kilos in this. I mean, it's not the biggest butt in the world, to be fair, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. You know, a bit of feed in the back, go out to the animals, stop, that's, you know, fine. She is powered by a diesel 3-cylinder John Deere engine with a towing capacity of just underneath a ton, I think. She is very rugged looking, I will give her that. The visibility on her from the outside looks good. There's plenty of glass. So she's got independent suspension, meaning wherever you put your payload, she will sort of automatically, you know, so the vehicle will be stable basically. They use like an A-frame sort of suspension, top and bottom wishbone arms, to make it that little bit smoother going across all the rough terrain that obviously we encounter on a daily basis.
Now, a few little pretty things that they've done is they've got a little bit of bling and chrome on their wheels, obviously with yellow paint, which is an extra, as I'm aware. The cab, this is the uprated cab compared to what, I don't know what the cab's called, but I'm going to call it the bubble cab. You all know what I mean. The one with the great big glass panels on all four sides, which personally I would prefer that, but this is a very big cab on this model.
So the first thing I did note was about, obviously, you know, looking from the outside, regardless of what Justin just said about the styling, the alloy wheels and all that, is these bad boys, the mirrors. Now, I've got to say, these are the biggest mirrors I've seen on the market so far for, you know, the RTVs, and that is a massive point, to be honest with you, because usually they are tiny.
Look in here. Everything is fairly well set out. Lights, front and back. Heater. This model has a heater. Obviously hazard lights. Gear gear stick, windscreen wipers, horn, and full two-wheel drive. Diff lock is just hidden behind the steering wheel. And then down here, which is something that we haven't made our minds up yet, but we'll come back to it at the end of the video, is this pedal here is the handbrake. So you push on the pedal to apply the handbrake, and then you pull on this little orange lever and it releases the handbrake off again.
If you've seen like Mercedes cars and stuff like that, it's exactly the same system handbrake as what they've got. I mean, I've never really rated that, to be honest with you, but it's what they use, and it is compact. You've got no levers anywhere, so there's nothing digging into your legs. I can see why they use it, because it is out of the way. And just going back to the heaters on this model and all that, I've just been looking at, you can get air conditioning for these models, which is quite, to be honest with you, something different on an RTV, because it's not something you see at all with air conditioning. I don't know if it's just John Deere that do that, or other brands, I don't know, but I've never known air conditioning in a Gator before, well, or in an RTV at all. So we just pulled out on the farm, ready to go out into the road.
Nearly drove into a fast track.
Nearly drove into a fast track, but we're all right. We're all right. First impressions of driving. Seat's very good. Like I said, after being in here and driving it, looking at the mirrors, they are big mirrors and you can see everything. Visibility, I've got to say, is really quite good. Only thing I would say is it's got electronic power steering. For me, it could be a little bit lighter, to be honest with you, because there is literally no difference between having power steering and not having power steering, if that makes sense, because it's not actually that light for electric power steering. But the feel of the machine is actually really quite good. I do like the suspension. Again, visibility, the back window, I do like this back window, how big it is and low and all that. You can actually see all around you. It is almost like a tractor cab, to be honest with you.
Okay, so something to point out here: the diff lock is a lever and it's mechanical, and it's not a switch and electric like on various other models. So that is going to be a preference to any of you looking to buy an RTV or Gator or any of the other abbreviations of these vehicles. Let's just go side by sides. But so far it's all right. It's not a bad drive being a passenger in here, but we'll test it again in a minute. And what I mean in a minute is, those of you that saw the other side-by-side video, which there will be a playlist, we're not name dropping any other brands in each video because that's not the point. We have brought it back here to see how it performs. Again, those of you that probably got worse terrain than this, perfectly fine, get one on demo and check it out. But we're going to take it for a spin round here and see basically how it fares. Now, before we go making assumptions, I've never always been a John Deere massive critic. We used to have two 6610s, which still in my mind is one of the best tractors that ever been on the market, and I'll stand by that, hands down. After that, the 6610, they started going to the double burn system on tractors, and I just didn't like the way that went, and that's when we started looking elsewhere and went to New Holland. Also, when it comes to Gators, the original Gator, can't remember the number off my head right now, but the six wheelers, right, used to love them. They big butts on them, went like the clappers. I just thought it was a really good piece of kit. Then in 2004, John Deere released the HPX, as lots of you probably well know, especially you guys in America, and that was a very, very, very good Gator, very good side by side. But since then, there's a lot more options in the market. But the Gator still remains one of the top selling RTVs in the whole market, pretty much in the whole world at the moment. But now I think it's time we take this for a spin and see what it's got. Last time we were here, obviously I went up on the steep of this and went down it. Yeah, we only did it once for you on camera, but we're just sort of going to show and sort of give our opinion on how this handles. Now, this Gator in particular, I don't know if they'll all like it, but I'm slightly finding that there's a lot of noise compared to the amount of power we're getting. Like, it's roaring, but I'm not tearing up here. But we're up. Again, last time I came up there, I came up with two-wheel drive, and I just come with two-wheel drive with this, so it's not done bad. Now, this model here doesn't have hill descent, so it's a case of having to work the accelerator and work gears. So I am going to put it in low box and take it along this slope. Right, I am now pretty much facing straight down. I've got it in low box for control, and I'm going to basically see how we get on now. So a little bit behind the scenes, Adam's filming. Now, keeping the reds up, now we're getting a little bit of fall away, or for those of you that don't understand that, it is running away a bit. Kids, do not do this at home. And there's a crazy dog trying to get run over. Then this goes into a little bit of a gully. I've just been up there, and that was not the most comfortable experience that I've had, and not much really terrifies me. As you can see with the body, the wheels are really tucked underneath, and aren't like that wide. So when you're going along a slope up there, I had to move myself to almost the passenger side to counteract the vehicle. Again, youngsters especially, do not go across steep slopes. Like, really, just don't do it. Those you getting one, yeah, like, yeah, just think what you're doing. Those tyres, again, they're quite thin, so you haven't got a huge amount of ground purchase. And also, like, front wheel to back wheel, if I come around here, it's quite a compact RTV, but like from the other side they're quite narrow, and then the wheels from here to here are quite narrow. It's almost like the body's too big for the wheelbase, if that makes sense to everyone. And it is very light. Like, there isn't a huge amount of weight of the machine. Now, I don't know if that's just the feel I've got the machine, but inside, like, don't get me wrong, inside the cab is comfy, like loads of visibility, huge mirrors, engine. Again, I think there's a lot of noise compared to the go forward that you would expect. Awesome lights, great tread on the tyres, suspension is freaking awesome, but for me is a little bit small. You know, the butt is, if we come around here, the butt isn't the full width. Does that make sense? So you go underneath and they've splayed out with mud guards here, but the butt is very narrow, if that makes sense. And personally, from our perspective, I think Adam will probably agree, like, we want one of these things to carry lots of stuff around.
For me, my opinion is, it's trying to be something it's not, if that makes sense. It's too focused on the styling and more comfortable point of view, which again is fine, but let's be honest, how long are you in an RTV for? You're not travelling miles in an RTV, are you? I just think they could have done something else to it to make it, at the end of the day, it is a farm RTV. It's in rugged terrain all day long, it's in muck, it's in everything. Don't get me wrong, like I said, the cab is brilliant. The cab is the best feature for me on this, but I just think it's too focused on like the alloy wheels and stuff like that. At the end of the day, it is a farm vehicle, and I think some ideas could have went somewhere else, like different weight distribution and stuff like that. But again, that is my opinion. Just going to take a little spin around the field, just to see what she is like. I mean, this is a really, really bumpy field, to be fair. Like, really bumpy. There's pits and everything everywhere. Like I said, the cab, it's fantastic. It is, the visibility out of it as well is brilliant. It really is. Absolutely spot on. They've got that right, and they have. But she's just so comfortable and quiet. I've got to say, I do like it. I do like it. I'm in four-wheel drive, no diff lock, going up a hill now. And she does grip. She just needs, my big thing, I'm going up quite a steep hill now, but she just needs that extra little bit of oomph. She just isn't quite powerful enough for me, to be honest. But she grips really well, really well. I'm just going on the side here, but she is a little bit off balance. I see what Justin was on about. She is a little bit twitchy, like on hills and a bit, you know, undulated like ground a little bit. She is a little bit twitchy.
So we aren't being funny with you guys, but on any of the slopes, this thing is very twitchy, which is not really what we want to say, but if you guys are thinking of buying one, I think you would want to know. But, you know, everyone's got their preference. But again, suspension ride quality, she's lovely. She gets, like if you hear her start growling there, we've really slowed up going up the hill. She isn't pulling up, she's sort of just coping up. But again, the suspension, what they go on about their suspension is pretty, yeah, that's pretty on point. Well, we're back, and this is going to be our conclusion. It's very comfortable.
Very comfortable, got to admit that. Very comfortable indeed.
Very, very soft seats.
So it's...
Uh-huh.
Oh. Right. The cab, in my opinion, a little bit noisy for a closed cab. There is quieter cabs out there, but
whether that's like the engine, engine, like when you're really revving on there, it gets a bit loud in there for like being completely enclosed cab. We personally think that could do with a slightly bigger engine. It didn't have quite the guts that we thought it should have for, like, you know, the size of it and the model it is. One of the most expensive on the market.
Apparently it is the most expensive on the market. I mean, you can configure these on the John Deere website. I mean, they can go up to 30,000 plus with all the optional extras, this, that and the other. I mean, would you really pay that for an RTV? Personal preference. If
you're on a golf course and doing stuff, maybe. If you're chucking it in the mud like we do, probably not. Yeah, it's not a bad machine. Personally, for me, if you are John Deere through and through, and you've got loads of John Deere tractors, then and your whole fleet is, you've kind of got to go that way because you're going to keep
it's all under one roof, isn't it?
Yeah. At the end of the day, you're going to keep your dealer like happy and keep your dealer sweet because everything else is John Deere, and you aren't going to want to like step out of that, and that's fair enough. That's part of the John Deere hypnotism thing that I go on about.
So, would we buy one of these?
You guys are going to have to wait and see.
I mean, the jury is still out on this one, to be honest with you.
But, you know, it's in the mix.
Yep.
So, you know, don't say it's not in the mix. I am the biggest John Deere critic there is, pretty much out there.
at the end of the day, no matter what make of RTV you have, they all have their pros and their cons.
Exactly.
So,
like, if there's something out
nothing
there perfect,
we'd all have it.
it.
There we go.
But yeah, like lighting, awesome.
Yeah, the LED lights are brilliant on them, to be honest with you.
Yeah, cab, awesome. Comfort, awesome. Forward drive going in, awesome. Suspension, awesome. Power, down on that. We weren't happy with the power.
No, a lot of people go on about how, accelerating the Gators do, right off the mark. Apparently, right off the mark, they are meant to be quick. This one, I can't really agree with you on that. The other ones, other models out there and RTVs and all that, she is one of the slowest off the mark, to be honest with you. But that, again, this is my opinion. I'm not going on, because a lot of people think, there's got to be something right with this.
Yeah.
These are the biggest sellers in the world.
Yeah.
But again, it's just our opinion on this particular model.
The boot or the tray on the back, personally, would rather it was the same width as the machine and not narrower. You kind of lost a bit of space there, especially like we're on short little trips around here, always delivering little bales.
You can see why they've done it, because obviously they've made the cab that much bigger. The cab must be.
They've gone for comfort over practicality.
That's what they've done. The cab is a few inches wide each side, but again, even 4 or 5 inches on that loading tray would make a massive difference, isn't it? With a few bales or whatever in there, and bags of feed and stuff like that.
But you guys, leave a comment below on what you think, your experiences, if you have one, had one, or got rid of one,
or change one to a different brand.
Yeah, or change to a different brand.
Why have you changed it? Is another interesting point.
Just so that everyone else watching can look in the comments and see what people are thinking, and also we can read through your comments and get your viewpoints too.
And just remember that this isn't any dig at any brands we're doing. This is purely our opinions on these machines that we are reviewing. So we're not taking a dig at anyone. This is just, like I said, our opinions, whether they're right or wrong, whether you agree or disagree. This, again, just what we think.
And it's pretty unbiased.
Yeah.
And again, let's just remember, I did absolutely love the 6610. Okay? So let's just remember that. But on that, thank you guys for watching. You can find us on Twitter, Facebook,
Snapchat, Instagram.
That's very good.
Good and I,
eh? I tried to catch you out again.
Yeah, you didn't though, did you? Hey?
You think on your toes now.
Yeah.
But until next time.
See you later.
We'll see you next one.
Cheers.
I have got to get these overalls off. I am itchy.
I'm
It's
keeping mine
burning
on.
my skin. Yeah, that's because yours fit.
I love overalls.
Just so you guys know, Adam's aunt, who watches the show, sent us these overalls. Thank you very much, Aunt. My overalls didn't fit.
Mine do.
They came up to my sort of calf muscles because they were both made for him. And also the sleeves don't sort of fit either.